Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kurt Langlotz. I'm a chest radiologist and AI researcher at Stanford and an RSNA representative to the PI group on this project. And I want to talk to you about contributing data to MIDRC and why you might want to do that. I was fortunate enough to be involved with a number of us in these conferences held at the NIH and sponsored by a number of organizations back in 2018 that built roadmaps both for foundational and translational research on AI and medical imaging. And both of these roadmaps recognized the need for high quality data, and that was a key bottleneck in producing good AI algorithms for medical imaging. So highly relevant to MIDRC. Also was fortunate enough to be a part of a group of ethicists and others who looked at the ethics of use and sharing of clinical data for AI and concluded that after clinical data are used to provide care, the primary purpose for acquiring the data is fulfilled. And at that point, the data should be treated as a form of a public good to be used for the benefit of future patients. So the data aren't owned in the traditional sense. Instead, everyone who interacts or controls the data has an obligation to ensure that the data are used to benefit patients and society. And there have been a number of data sets already released, AI-ready data sets. So Ron Summers' lab at the NIH really got this kicked off a few years ago with the release of chest X-ray, a large chest X-ray data set, and another data set of CT images. But there's the MIMIC data. We at Stanford have contributed also to some labeling of the MIMIC data, so a very large set of chest X-rays. The NYU MRI data set, there's a pathology data set out of Dartmouth, and many others. Here at Stanford, we've released now 10 data sets and more to come of AI-ready data sets. So this is really an important issue, an important way to drive the field forward. Specifically, these data sets can be used as part of data science challenges. And RSNA has led a number of these. You can see annually since 2017, a different data science challenge. And this really does drive the field forward. And we attempt to draw data from multiple institutions when possible. Just to give you a sense of how this drives the field, this RSNA intracranial hemorrhage detection challenge, which was in 2020, more than 27,000 studies, over 1 million unique images from 4 sites across 3 continents were labeled by over 60 volunteer neuroradiologists who selected one of 6 labels. There were over 1,300 data science teams, nearly 1,800 competitors that entered 22,000 algorithms into the contest. So you can see how this really does stimulate activity and progress in this area. Unfortunately, though, if you look at the data sets that are being used generally in publications, the data sets that are used to train deep learning algorithms, most of them come from just a few areas of the country. This was a study of US data sets that we published in JAMA last year. And you can see, of course, there's a high variability in terms of age, household income, and a whole variety of factors that may correlate with health and utilization of health resources. So we really need to diversify. And that's exactly why we wanted to build a large data set like MIDRC, which could draw data from a whole variety of sources and build more generalizable algorithms. Another reason is for contributing data is that if you contribute it to a large resource like MIDRC, MIDRC is working closely with a number of organizations and projects to connect the imaging data to rich other sources of data, such as the EHR data in this M3C Connect project. So over 4.5 billion rows of data, nearly a million patients, probably more than 1 million now. So potential for multimodal data analysis. So why would you want to contribute? Well, you can contribute your data, your expertise, and share that with others who are contributing data and expertise and working on these projects. You can participate on the projects. You can learn more about AI development through the contributions of data. As I said, connect your data to non-imaging data. And we do have some support. So if you are interested in contributing data, the RSNA and MIDRC have a funding program, which is a 2-page application. It's actually due fairly soon, in a little over a week. Any US-based organization or investigator can apply. And really, it's just based on your willingness and ability to contribute data to MIDRC. And the criteria are that we're interested in particularly diverse data and data from vulnerable populations, data that are not represented well in the MIDRC data set so far, such as images outside the chest, how much data you have to contribute, and just some written support from a privacy official indicating that you're able to contribute the data from your site. And it certainly helps to have some experience processing and transferring data, but we have many processes and people available to help with that process. And so you just need to provide the application, and you can see there how the budget would be allocated. It's about $38,000 in phased payments. And if you do that, then we can use this data in MIDRC to do a number of things: identify COVID infection, diagnose COVID and distinguish it from other forms of pneumonia, assess the extent of disease, monitor whether therapy is effective, detect complications like the PE you see on the left there, and predict outcome like admission to the ICU or admission to the hospital or death. So we hope you'll consider contributing data to MIDRC, and thanks very much.